Okay, listen. So in virtual circuit networks, we have these three phases: phase one, setup phase; phase two, data transfer phase; phase three, tear down phase. So in my last session, I have started with the setup phase, but I thought uh, before explaining the setup phase, let's first understand how actually the data is transferred. Then we will come back to the setup phase. So I have done a few changes to my explanation. Okay, so let's start with the data transfer phase first. Okay, so now coming to data transfer phase, as you can see in this particular diagram, a data transfer phase completely depends on this table. Okay, so call this table as virtual circuit table. So previously we have discussed about one thing, routing table. Okay, routing table in datagram network. So in routing table, datagram network completely depends on this routing table for data transfer. Now in virtual circuit network, we are depending on this virtual circuit table. Okay, sometimes it is also called as VCI table, virtual circuit identifier table. Now when it's person, let's say A is communicating with two people, B and C. Okay, A is directly connected here, B and C is somewhere in this direction. I am not saying they are connected to this switch. Okay, there may be some more switches in between, but imagine C is in this direction, B is in this direction. Okay, how I am saying that they are in that direction means depending on this routing table. Okay, I will come back to that after completing this data transfer. Now here, if you look inside the packet that is going, here the data is packetized and the packet contains two fields in data transfer. One is the data field, okay, which contains the actual information. The other one is VCI number. So VCI number is having local jurisdiction. That means from switch to switch, this field is changing. It is only having significance with respect to that switch only. Now, this switch, if you look at this table has 4 columns. The columns are divided into incoming and outgoing. So whenever you receive a packet, you will compare the VCI with the incoming VCI. Okay, so if you look, this 77 is here and this 14 is here. So whenever you receive a VCI 14, that means the packet must be forwarded through port number 3 with VCI 22, like this. So as you can see, the 14 is now changed to 22. And whenever you receive a packet with VCI number 77, it must be changed to 41 and it must be forwarded through port number 2. So here we are not having source address, we are not having destination address. What we have is only VCI, virtual circuit identifier. So these VCIs help the switches to identify which virtual circuit is used. So as you can see, whenever A sends the data, if there's in A, there will be a table, okay, where to which destination the A is using which VCI. So for destination B, A is using 14. For destination C, A is using 77. So this packet is for B, this packet is for C. That A knows, but switch does not know that information. What switch knows is, in its table, in its virtual circuit table, in its virtual circuit neighbor, whenever it receives something with 14, it must send with 22 out of this port 3. Okay, so are you able to get that point? Okay, if you are able to get this point, then we will discuss about how this table is obtained actually. Okay, if you are clear with how the data is moved with the help of this table, then we will move to how the table will be created. That means nothing but setup phase. I got only one response. Okay, so I will explain this one more time since some of the students joined late. Just listen. So in virtual circuit network, a switch will be doing data transfer completely depending on VC table. So VC table means this one. So this table has 4 columns where 2 columns represent incoming, 2 columns represent outgoing. As you can see here, this table only tells if a packet comes with 14 through port number 1, it must go out of port number 3 with VCI 22. That's it. It does not think about what is the source of that packet, what is the destination of that packet. In the data transfer phase, what it thinks is what is the VCI in the received packet and where should I send it and what VCI should I put, the new VCI. That's it. So if you look here, when the switch receives a packet from port number 1 with VCI 14, it will search in its table. So it will see this entry. Okay, port number 1 VCI 14. So that means I need to send it port number 3 with VCI 20. So the data is same, but VCI is different. Now, if it receives a data with 77, okay, I received a data with port number 1 with VCI 77. That means I need to forward with port number 2 with VCI 41. So here these VCIs are local significance. They are changing, unlike a global address in our datagram network. Datagram network లో తీసుకుంటే డెస్టినేషన్ అడ్రస్ అనేది ఎప్పుడు కంప్లీట్ గా కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉంటుందమ్మా, కానీ ఇక్కడ ఈ VCI నెంబర్ అనేది కంటిన్యూస్ గా చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఫ్రమ్ స్విచ్ టు స్విచ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ changing. Now at the source, that is in A VC table, what we have is we have only this information. So destination VCI. When A wants to communicate with B, it will put a B. Okay, I want to communicate with B and the VCI number I am using is 14. I want to communicate with C and the VCI number I am using is 17. This table will be there. Okay, so when A has some data, it will send the data with 14. If when A has some data for C, it will send the data with 77. So that the switch will know to whom the data need to be forwarded indirectly. Here directly we are not, imagine yourself as a switch. So directly as a switch you are not knowing to whom you are forwarding, but indirectly you know to whom you are forwarding. Okay, so let's see how this table is constructed. So this is the local address. So the VCI completely takes care of how the information is forwarded. Now let's see how exactly the table is constructed. So to construct that table, we have a phase called setup phase. So in the setup phase, the switch creates an entry for virtual circuit. That means when A wants to communicate with B, it will go through the setup phase where this entry will be created. A14 322 114 322 is created during this setup phase. Okay, so in setup phase we have 2 steps. Okay, one step is called setup request, another step involves acknowledgement. So in setup request frame, the setup request frame is sent from source to destination and acknowledgement is sent from destination to source as a response. Okay, that means setup request must be going from source to destination and a reply must be coming, that is called an acknowledgement. Then only the setup phase is complete. Okay, so what happens in setup phase? So now let's discuss about this diagram more clearly. Okay, so what happens is, just imagine in the beginning the table is completely empty. Okay, we have no entries. What we know is incoming, outgoing, okay, port number VCA, port number VCA. Now from A there will be a packet coming. let's say setup request packet which carries address B and A. So from A setup request packet is going to be here. As you can see, these are global addresses. So during setup phase, we are using global addresses. So this is source address, this is destination address, and we are sending a setup request. Now from A to B, we are sending setup request. So that setup request, since A is connected to switch 1, will come to switch 1. So switch 1 received the setup request. So it will look inside its main table, that is routing table. So in routing table, what we have? Destination port at that instance. So let's say in its table, it see that for B, the outgoing port is 3. So what it will do, since the setup phase, it received a packet from A, okay, it is going to B. Since the B is the output port 3, it will put that, okay, my outgoing, I need to forward the packet through port 3 and it is coming from port 1. Okay, so let's give it a VCI number. Let's say the VCI number is 14. Okay, and you are not putting the outgoing VCI. Okay, so you filled these 3 entries. Now you forwarded it. So A, B, SR now comes to switch 2. So inside switch 2, it will look inside its own routing table. Okay, so destination port. So destination is B, port is 2. Okay, so what it will do is, okay, I received a setup request from A to B, and I received it through port 1. So port 1, and it need to go through port 2, and let's give a number, an available number 66. So these numbers are completely decided there itself, either randomly or based on some algorithm. Okay, but you must make sure that this column does not contain a duplicate. Okay, a virtual circuit, a particular table duplicates లేకుండా చూసుకోవాలమ్మా. That's the only condition. So ఇప్పటి వరకు ఇక్కడ ఎంట్రీస్ ఏం లేవు కాబట్టి random గా 66 ఇచ్చింది, 2 ఇచ్చింది, ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తుంది. Now the packet is received by switch 3. So switch 3 routing table చూస్తుంది. switch 3 routing table ఏమని ఉంటుంది? సో B అనేది డైరెక్ట్ గా port 3 కనెక్ట్ అయ్యి ఉంది అని వస్తుంది. సో ఇమీడియట్ గా what it will do, whatever it received port number 2, it will update it in the routing table, VCI table. It will forward it through 3 and it will remember that, okay, the VCI number is 22. Okay, so now B received this information. So what B will do, it will put a table. Okay, so what is the table contains is communicating party, let's say A. సో ఏ నుంచి నాకు వచ్చే ప్యాకెట్ లో 22 అనే అడ్రస్ వస్తుంది. సో లెట్స్ డూ, ఐ విల్ చూజ్ అనదర్ నెంబర్ 77. సో దిస్ విల్ పుట్, దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఎంట్రీ నౌ. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఇన్కమింగ్ VCI, దిస్ ఈస్ అవుట్ గోయింగ్ VCI. సో ఏ నుంచి బికి వచ్చే ఏ ప్యాకెట్ లో అయినా సరే ఇంక ఈ 22 ఉంటుందమ్మా ఫర్దర్ కమ్యూనికేషన్. 22 అనే నెంబర్ తో ఇలా ఒక ప్యాకెట్ వచ్చింది అంటే దాని మీనింగ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ. ఓకే, now this is the setup phase. Now let's go through these points. So a setup request frame is sent from source to destination. Which one will receive the setup request frame? It knows that the frame is coming from A and going to B and it must go out through port number 3. So ఇది ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది అంటే రౌటింగ్ టేబుల్ ని బట్టి తెలుస్తుంది, గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. So this point depends on routing table. I got a message, just sir, one second. Actually, I will explain, don't worry. Once I complete the acknowledgement phase also, then I will come back to this and I will explain. Then you will understand more clearly. Okay, so let me explain the acknowledgement phase also. Just remember this. So B's table చూపిస్తున్నానమ్మా, ఎందుకంటే డయాగ్రామ్ లో లేదు కాబట్టి. B's table contains 3 entries. Okay, so host, who is that host? So we are communicating with the host. So this is 22, so this is 22 and B is assigning 77. Okay, so this is incoming VCI, this is outgoing VCI. Now let's look at what happens during acknowledgement. So this is acknowledgement. So if you look here, B is sending the acknowledgement with this outgoing VCI number. So this 77 is placed in the packet. So this is a reply. So this reply carries that. Okay. So the information is from A, coming from B, it is to A, and the VCI number is 77. So what it will do is, okay, A నుంచి B కి వెళ్ళేదానికి ఇంతకు ముందు పోర్ట్ టూ లోంచి ఏదైనా ఇన్కమింగ్ వస్తే దానికి 22 నెంబర్ తో వస్తే దాన్ని 3 తో పంపిస్తున్నాం, 3 లోంచి పంపిస్తున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు దాంట్లోంచి వచ్చే రిప్లైని 77 ఎస్ చేస్తాం. అర్థమైందా? ఇప్పుడు ఈ 22 ని ఈ వెనక్కి వెళ్ళే ప్యాకెట్ లో యూజ్ చేస్తాం. Now here this 22 will be placed and this 66 will be used in the reverse packet. So here 66 will be used. So this 66, this 14 will come back. Now if you look at A's table clearly, A will be having like this. So host is B, okay, outgoing is, incoming VCI is what we used previously. A is sending to B with 14. Oh, sorry. ఇక్కడ ఇది అవసరం లేదమ్మా, యాక్చువల్లీ దిస్ వన్ ఈజ్ నాట్ నీడెడ్. సో VCI, just give me a minute. So this is B's table. So A కి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే 77. This is A's table. So B కి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే 14. Okay. Now if you observe clearly in the further communication, when A wants to send something to B, what it will do is it will just put 14 in it and its data. సో ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ 14 అనే దాంతో ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిందో ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా మీరు ఈ టేబుల్ లో అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే, ఓకే, ఇట్ మస్ట్ గో అవుట్ విత్ port number 3 with data and 66, and it will come to here and it will forward it like, okay, 66 through port number 1 edaina vaste, through port number 2 I need to send it with 22. Okay, and here switch 3 will know that, okay, I need to forward it with 77 data. When it's receives something with 77, by looking at this table, okay, it is coming from A. That is how A and B will understand one another, how they are communicating using this VCI number. Now let me explain the same thing again. Okay, so listen carefully now, we will understand now. So A wants to communicate with B. So what A will do, A will send a setup request to B. Okay, so to do that, since A is connected to switch 1, it will send the setup request to switch 1. So before sending it, what it will do is it will create an entry in A's table. Okay, I am communicating with B and I don't know which VCI number I am using, empty. Always in setup request phase, the outgoing will be empty. So B as A, outgoing VCI will be empty. ఇది ఎంటీగానే ఉందమ్మా ప్రస్తుతానికి. ఇప్పుడు ఈ రిక్వెస్ట్ ప్యాకెట్ this received at switch 1. So what switch 1 will do, in its routing table it has an entry. See, I am talking about two tables. One table is VC table, another table is RT table. VC table is temporary table. Okay, so the table will be there, the rows will be added, removed. During setup phase, rows will be added. During tear down phase, rows will be removed. But this routing table is always be there. So ఈ రౌటింగ్ టేబుల్లో అన్ని డెస్టినేషన్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంటుంది. ఈ స్విచ్ నుంచి ఏకి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఎలా వెళ్ళాలి, బికి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఎలా వెళ్ళాలి, సికి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఎలా వెళ్ళాలి, డికి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఎలా వెళ్ళాలి. సో అవుట్ గోయింగ్ పోర్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో ఏకి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 1, బికి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 3, సికి వెళ్ళాలంటే పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 3, డికి వెళ్ళాలంటే పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 4, ఈకి వెళ్ళాలంటే పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 5, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్. ద టేబుల్ విల్ బి దేర్, బట్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ చేంజింగ్ కంటిన్యూస్ depending on traffic, depending on new switches, depending on existing switches dropping. సో ఇలా డిఫరెంట్ రీజన్స్ వల్ల చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. సో కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, సెటప్ టైంలో ఏ పోర్ట్ ఉంటుందో ఇంకా ఆ వర్చువల్ సర్క్యూట్ మొత్తం ఆ పోర్ట్ కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉంటుంది, ఈవెన్ ద రౌటింగ్ టేబుల్ చేంజ్ అయినా సరే. సో ఈ రౌటింగ్ టేబుల్ నెక్స్ట్ ఎప్పుడైనా చేంజ్ అయినా సరే ఇంకా అది మనకి రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవ్వదమ్మా, మనకి సంబంధం లేదు. ఎందుకంటే మనం ఈ సెటప్ ఫేజ్ టైంలో ఏది ఉందో ఆ పోర్ట్ ఇంకా అలా ఫిక్స్ అయిపోతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏం జరుగుతుంది, సో ఫ్రమ్ ఏ టు బి ఏ సెటప్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్. సో ఫ్రమ్ ఏ టు బి, బికి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే పాత ఏంటి 3, yes or no? From routing table, can you see for going to B, I need to go through port number 3. So that you know. And A నుంచి మీకు ఈ ప్యాకెట్ ఏ రూట్ లో వచ్చింది, ఏ పోర్ట్ లోంచి వచ్చింది? From A, through which port you are receiving this packet? Port number 1, right? So you will give these entries here. Now you have one more thing in your hand, VCI number. ఇంకా ఫ్యూచర్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ లో ఏ నుంచి బీకి వెళ్ళే కమ్యూనికేషన్ లో ఏ నెంబర్ వాడదాం అని చెప్పి మీరు ఇక్కడ ఆలోచించాలి. సో లెట్స్ సే వన్ నాట్ యూజ్ నెంబర్, సో యూ చూజ్ 14. జస్ట్ ఇమాజిన్ యూ చూజ్ 14. సో యూ యూజ్డ్ దీస్ పోర్ట్ నెంబర్స్ అండ్ యూ ఫార్వర్డెడ్ దిస్ సెటప్ రిక్వెస్ట్. గుర్తుపెట్టుకున్నాము, ఈ సెటప్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ని ఇలాగే ఫార్వర్డ్ చేసేస్తున్నాం, ఏం చేంజ్ చేయట్లే, ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు బి దగ్గర ఈ స్విచ్ 2 దగ్గరకు వస్తుంది. స్విచ్ 2 దగ్గర కూడా ఒక టేబుల్ ఉంటుంది కదా, రౌటింగ్ టేబుల్. సో దీంట్లో కూడా ఓకే, ఏకి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 1, బికి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 2, సికి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే 3, డికి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే 3, ఇలా ఏదో ఒక ఎంట్రీస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఏ నుంచి బికి వెళ్ళే ఒక ప్యాకెట్ వచ్చింది. సో ఈ ప్యాకెట్ మీకు ఏ పోర్ట్ లోంచి వస్తుంది స్విచ్ 2కి? వాట్ ఈస్ ద పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ ఇన్ విచ్ స్విచ్ 2 రిసీవ్స్ దిస్ సెటప్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ప్యాకెట్? ఆ డయాగ్రామ్ మీకు ఏం కనిపిస్తుంది? సో ఇట్ ఈస్ 1, రైట్? సో 1 లోంచే కదా ఇక్కడ మనకి లోపలికి వస్తుంది, ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ లో చూస్తే మీరు. సో 1 లోంచి వస్తుంది కాబట్టి ఓకే, ఇక్కడ 1 ఎంటర్ చేస్తారు. ఇప్పుడు మీ రౌటింగ్ టేబుల్ బేస్ చేసుకుని బికి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే అవుట్ గోయింగ్ పోర్ట్ ఎంత? 2, రైట్? సో యూ విల్ పుట్ దట్ 2. నౌ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎన్ ఆప్షన్ టు చూస్ VCA. సో యూ చూజ్ 66. ఓకే, నౌ యూ ఫార్వర్డెడ్ ఇట్. సో ఇది ఫార్వర్డ్ చేశారు. ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తే ఈ స్విచ్ 3కి వస్తుంది. సో ఈ స్విచ్ 3 రౌటింగ్ టేబుల్ ఏమని ఉంటుంది? స్విచ్ 3 కంటైన్స్ దట్ ఓకే, A is 2, B is 3, C is 3, sorry not 3, C is 2, D is 4, D is 1, something like that. Just imagine. Now you received a packet from A to B. So అది ఏ పోర్ట్ లోంచి లోపలికి ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది మీకు? ఇక్కడ ఏ నుంచి బికి ఎంటర్ అయ్యేది. ఇక్కడ పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ ఎంత? ఈ స్విచ్ పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 2 కదా. సో 2. ఇప్పుడు ఈ టేబుల్ ని బట్టి బి ఎక్కడ ఉంది, ఏ పోర్ట్ లో ఉంది? 3. సో 3. ఇప్పటి వరకు యూజ్ చేయని ఒక నెంబర్ 22 ప్లేస్ చేశారు కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఈ 22 అని ప్లేస్ చేసుకుని ఏ టు బి రిక్వెస్ట్ పంపిస్తున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు బి దగ్గరగా రిక్వెస్ట్ వచ్చింది. సో బి టేబుల్ చూస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో బి టేబుల్లో ఏకి ఎంట్రీ లేదు ఇప్పటి వరకు. సో ఇప్పుడు ఏకి ఎంట్రీ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. సో ఆ ఎంట్రీ ఎంత క్రియేట్ చేయాలి అంటే ఇట్ విల్ చూస్ 77. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ హౌ సెటప్ ఫేజ్ విత్ డన్. సో ఈజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్ విత్ దిస్ సెటప్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఫేజ్? ఐ విల్ గో టు అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ ఫేజ్ నౌ. Now let's go to acknowledgement phase. Now if you look at this acknowledgement phase, సో ఇప్పుడు మన దగ్గర అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ ఫేజ్ లో మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే మన దగ్గర ఉన్న ఎంట్రీస్ ఏంటి అంటే at B we know that 77. సో B 77 డిసైడ్ చేసింది. ఏ దగ్గర ఇంకా మనకి ఇంకా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రాలేదు కాబట్టి దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎంటీ అండ్ దీస్ ఫీల్డ్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ దేర్ కరెంట్లీ. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇవి అప్డేట్ చేయాలి. సో ఎలా అప్డేట్ చేస్తున్నాం? సో B నుంచి ఏకి ఒక సెటప్ అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ వెళ్తుందమ్మా. దిస్ అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ క్యారీస్ దీస్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. సో దిస్ అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ క్యారీస్, so it is coming from B, it is going to A and the VCA number is 77. Okay, now by looking inside the routing table, it knows that to go to A, the outgoing port is 2, and we already created these 2 entries. So we are going to place this new value here. ఓకే, ప్లేస్ చేసి ఈ ప్యాకెట్ ని ఫర్దర్ పంపిస్తాం. ఈ ప్యాకెట్ లో ఇప్పుడు ఈ VCI యూజ్ చేసి పంపిస్తాం. అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ కి ఇన్కమింగ్ అవుట్ గోయింగ్ అవుతుంది, అవుట్ గోయింగ్ ఇన్కమింగ్ అవుతుంది, రివర్స్ అవుతాయమ్మా. సెటప్ రిక్వెస్ట్ కి ఇన్కమింగ్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ కి రిప్లై కి అది ఆపోజిట్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో this 22 you will use and you will send it back, and here this 22 will be entered. సో ఇక్కడ మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తుంటే ప్రతి స్విచ్ ఒక VCI డిసైడ్ చేస్తుంది. ఆ సెకండ్ VCI ని మన పక్క స్విచ్ ని బేస్ చేసుకుని మనం నోట్ డౌన్ చేస్తాం. ఈ 66 ఇప్పుడు ఈ 14 తో ఇది మనకి ఫార్వర్డ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ 14 అని యూజ్ చేయాలి. అర్థమైందా? ఇప్పుడు మన దగ్గర ఎన్ని టేబుల్స్ ఉన్నాయంటే వీ హ్యావ్ దీస్ 3 VCI tables in 3 switches and these 2 VCI tables in 2 users. ఓకే, సో సెటప్ రిక్వెస్ట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు కొత్తగా డేటా పంపించాలి. సో ఏ డేటా పంపించేటప్పుడు డేటాతో డేటా 14 పంపించింది అనుకోండి, ఇది బీక్ అని మీనింగ్ ఈ టేబుల్ బట్టి. అది డేటా అండ్ సమ్ 67 అని పంపించింది అనుకోండి, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఫర్ బి, ఇట్ ఈస్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్. సే సికి 67 అని ఉంటే సికి వెళ్తున్నట్టు, డికి 88 అని ఉంది అనుకోండి, డేటా 88 అని పంపిస్తాం. అర్థమైందా? సో హియర్ దిస్ స్విచ్ రిసీవ్స్ ద డేటా, ఇట్ లుక్స్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద టేబుల్. ఓకే, 14 అని ఉంది, 14 అని ఉందంటే 3 లోంచి 66 అని బయటికి పంపించాలి. ఓకే, ఈ 3 లోంచి 66 అని పంపించింది, ఇక్కడ 1 లోంచి 66 అని రిసీవ్ అవుతుంది. సో 1 లోంచి 66 అని వస్తే అది 2 లోంచి 22 అని పంపించాలి. వెన్ యూ సెండ్ ఇట్ ఫ్రమ్ 222, ఇట్ విల్ రిసీవ్ as 222 port to VCI 22, and that means you need to forward it with 377. When B receives something with 77, that means it is from A. That is how the data transfer phase will happen. So is it clear with this setup request and acknowledgement phase now? అర్థమైందా, అర్థం కాలేదమ్మా ఇప్పుడు? Yeah, good. So I will play. So the VC virtual circuit networks are the end of our second unit. So I'm going to place them in the the PPT in the resources. You can go through the PPT. Do the steps. The exact steps are explained here. Theoretically, the same step which I discussed in using our diagram. Okay, so try to go through these steps for like 3 times at least, so that you will understand them clearly. Now, so we discussed about data transfer, we discussed about the setup request acknowledgement. So this is how the data transfer now will be done through these tables from A to B. As you can see here, we created this table entry. Now we are using that for sending the data. So A నుంచి B కి 14 అనే వెళ్తుందమ్మ. సో ఇక్కడికి రాగానే ఓకే 3 నుంచి 66, ఇక్కడికి రాగానే 2 నుంచి 22, ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళగానే 3 నుంచి 77, B దగ్గరికి రాగానే ఓకే 77 తో ఏమొచ్చినా అది A నుంచి వచ్చినట్టు. సో దిస్ ఈస్ హౌ ద data transfer phase will happen. So this is the in tear down phase, the simple thing is no need for any diagram. So B will send or A will send a tear down packet, okay, which contains the information, the VCI number and tear down request. సో 14 అని చెప్పేసి ఒక టియర్ డౌన్ రాగానే ఈ ఎంట్రీ రిమూవ్ అయిపోతుంది, 3 లోంచి బయటికి పంపించేసి ఎంట్రీ రిమూవ్ చేస్తాం. అది ఇక్కడికి రాగానే ఇది ఫార్వర్డ్ చేసి ఇది రిమూవ్ చేస్తాం, ఇది ఇక్కడికి రాగానే ఇది ఫార్వర్డ్ చేసి ఇది రిమూవ్ చేసేస్తాం. సో లైక్ దట్ ఇట్స్ సింపుల్ స్టెప్. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ ద టియర్ డౌన్ ఫేజ్. నౌ దిస్ ఈస్ how the total delay will be. So the total delay will be 3 into t plus 3 into tau plus setup delay plus tear down delay. Okay, so okay, tear down you need one more time explanation, so let me tell you. So here when A wants to tear down the connection, let me draw these things. I think you got confused. Instead of data, you will get a tear down request. When this switch receives this tear down request, what it will do is it will forward using this same table. Instead of data, it will forward tear down request and it will remove this entry. This entry will not be there in the future. Okay, then this switch receives this request with 66, so it will forward with 22 like this. This is tear down request. Now this entry will be removed. Now this will be received here, it will forward this tear down, this entry will be removed. Okay, so that is how the tear down phase will be happening. It's similar to data transfer, but after the transfer there is no entry in the table, the entry is removed. Okay, so that is about VC tear down. Okay, so coming to the efficiency and delay, as you can see, there is very less chances of getting a wait time here, because here you have an option of reserving the resources. The only thing is, if you compare the diagram of this and circuit switch network, just look at the diagram. Yeah, this is the circuit switch network diagram. ఇక్కడ మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే వచ్చిన ప్రతి బిట్ ని యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గా ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తామమ్మా. యు ఆర్ నాట్ డివైడింగ్ ద డేటా ఇంటూ ప్యాకెట్స్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ 1000 క్యారెక్టర్స్, ప్రతి క్యారెక్టర్ విల్ బి ఫార్వర్డెడ్ ఇమీడియట్లీ. అదే మీరు just give me a minute. Yeah, here if you observe here, what's happening is packets. First you will send a packet until the switch receives the complete packet. It can't see the address. After receiving the packet, it will see the address and it will forward the packet. Then after receiving the packet completely, you will see the address, you will forward the address. So this is the total delay. So total delay is equal to 3 times the transmission time plus 3 times the propagation time. Okay, so this is called propagation time and setup delay. So the delay achieved here, and tear down delay, the delay of this. Okay, so that is the delay. So compared to so there is no need to remember these equations for you. I just placed them for a little bit clarity. But what you need to remember is the efficiency of this virtual circuit depends on two things: whether you are reserving the resources or not. If you are reserving the resources, the efficiency will be less. If you are not reserving the resources, the efficiency will be more. And coming to delay, the virtual circuit network delay will be in between the datagram network and the circuit switching network. So circuit switching network lo less delay amma, datagram network lo more delay, ఈ నెట్వర్క్ లో వర్చువల్ సర్క్యూట్ నెట్వర్క్ లో మోడరేట్ డిలే. సో ఇట్ విల్ బి ఇన్ బిట్వీన్. సో సర్క్యూట్ కన్నా కొంచెం ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది, ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ ఈ మొత్తం ప్యాకెట్ వచ్చే వరకు వెయిట్ చేసి కానీ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేయలేరు కాబట్టి. అలాగే మనకి డేటాగ్రామ్ కన్నా తక్కువ ఉంటుంది, ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ మధ్యలో మనకి వెయిటింగ్ టైం అనేది ఏమీ లేదు కాబట్టి. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ ద నెట్వర్క్స్. సో వర్చువల్ సర్క్యూట్ నెట్వర్క్స్ ఆర్ యూజ్డ్ ఇన్ మెసేజెస్. So they are actually not just used in messages, they are used in practical implementation of these things are very rarely seen nowadays. Okay, because the complexity of resources needed for maintaining those tables and more memory to be allocated here. Okay, so I can't give you a real time example of this particular case. Okay, so datagram means you can say SMS service, circuit switching means you can say voice call service, telephone service, but this virtual circuit is not used like that. I can't compare it like that. Okay, so that is the end of this particular topic. Okay, now we have so much time, so I can take this time to clear all your doubts in first unit and second unit. This is the end of this unit. Okay, now before going to this doubt clear session, let me tell you one thing. I have posted the assignment, okay, for first unit. So the assignment question I am repeating here. Okay, so the assignment question is explain about different network topologies. That means we have this bus, mess, star, and ring topologies. Okay, so I want you to explain these topologies, their advantages, disadvantages. Up to this point, you can just replicate it from the textbook or the material, I mean the PPT, whatever you, wherever you want, you can replicate. But the actual assignment is go through Google, okay, and get me real-time examples of where these topologies are used. ఓకే, అట్లీస్ట్ 3 ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ కావాలమ్మా నాకు ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళ దగ్గర నుంచి. సో ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను ఇప్పుడే చెప్తున్నాను, బట్ డోంట్ యూజ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ద మీన్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్. ఓకే, డోంట్ యూజ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ యువర్ అసైన్మెంట్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ ద స్టార్ టోపాలజీ, సో స్టార్ టోపాలజీ యూ కెన్ సే అవర్ ల్యాబ్స్. So if you take our lab is implemented using star topology. There are one or multiple switches where the switch is connected to every computer using individual cables. Okay, so that is star topology. So star topology ko oka example enti ante real time example our lab. So like that you need to come up with your own examples. Okay, so star ekkada use chestam, bus ekkada use chestam, ade chesevallam. Alage mess ekkada use chestam, ring topology ekkada use chestam. If I am not wrong, I gave an example about ring topology. Okay, so don't mention anything here, don't reply here, just put that in your assignment. So you can only submit PDF document, and the assignment format is the PDF must be a written document. You can use some apps like Cam Scanner or some other apps or inbuilt apps in your mobiles to scan the written document into a proper PDF format and put the name as CN followed by your register number followed by A1. I think HOD madam mentioned this format, UNP register number A1. So instead of UNP, use CN. Okay, so upload those documents. I am giving you 1 week time. After that, I will give you assignment 2 for second unit. Okay, Word document means you will type. How will you put diagrams there? You will copy paste everything. Obviously you won't even write. Writing something will help you remember those concepts. Okay, so write it on the paper, take a snap, okay, using some scanning apps, then convert it into a PDF, upload the PDF. Don't write scrap in that. ఓకే, ఇది JNTU ఎగ్జామ్ కాదమ్మా, లేకపోతే ఒక మిడ్ ఎగ్జామ్ కాదు, ఏదో పేపర్లు ఫిల్ చేయాలని చెప్పి వేస్ట్ కంటెంట్ మొత్తం ఫిల్ చేయడానికి. You can ask your seniors. Okay, I will not give marks based on content size. I will give marks based on the actual concept in the content. Okay, మీరు 4 పాయింట్లే రాసిన 4 పాయింట్లు రిలవెంట్ పాయింట్స్, కరెక్ట్ పాయింట్స్ అంటే మార్క్స్ పడతాయి. 40 పాయింట్స్ వేస్ట్ పాయింట్ రాసిన వాళ్ళకి మార్క్స్ పడవు, క్లియర్ గా చెప్తున్నా. సో you make sure that you will put only the needed things. That means explanation, advantages, disadvantages, diagrams, and at least three real time examples. I will be giving more weightage to those real time examples. Remember this point. Okay, so is it clear about the assignment part, or you have any more queries about the assignment? I repeat, is it clear about the assignment part? Yeah. Now, if you can, don't leave the session until it's 1 at least. But those people who are having doubts in any concept, if you want me to repeat any concept in the first unit or second unit, you can ask me. Or if you have any specific doubt, you can ask me now. Okay. If I'm not seeing any doubts, I will start asking questions. Submission date, obviously, I will give, I mean, you will have 1 week. Okay. So I will send you the mail of that assignment so that you will see all the details there. No worries. If you don't have any doubts, I will ask questions. You need to respond, guys. No doubts. We are clear. Don't leave the session. Okay, so can guys respond? So the question is, what is the main principle of working of optical fiber cables? What is the working principle behind optical fiber cables in data transmission? Don't give me shortcuts. So 5I8, it is right. So total internal reflection. So my question, extension to it. So these people must not respond. I8, K6, 66. So we have these things. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Now, mu1, mu2. Mu1 is greater than mu2. Ti. So here in this particular diagram, what is Ti? What is Ti is called? So as you can see here, the incident ray is going along the edge. So again, okay, few people is responding. So it is called critical angle. Now, to get total internal reflection, Ti must be greater than T critical or less than T critical. Ti must be greater than T critical. Okay, good guys. I can see you are responding. Now, in optical fiber, what are the modes? We have 2 modes in optical fiber. What are those modes? Core. I'm not talking about 2 parts, components. I'm talking about modes. I'm not talking about types. To remember, there are 2 things: components, types, modes. Yeah, I got very few right answers. So modes means single mode and multi-mode. So your fiber, is it carrying single ray or is it carrying multiple rays? Based on that, single mode or multi-mode. Now coming to types, what are the types? What are the 2 types of optical fibers? Not duplex, it is wrong. Simplex, duplex, that is not right. Optical fibers are always simplex cables, remember. Yeah, 5I8, Sriya, it is right. But you have not mentioned the other thing. Yeah, 5F0, you are right. I got 1 right answer. Yeah, 2 right answers, 3 right answers. Yeah, it is right. Step index and graded index. Okay. Before explaining what is step index and graded index, now tell me what are the 2 components in an optical fiber? 5K6 Soumya, twisted and guided, these are completely wrong. Yeah, so the two components is core and cladding. So if you look at a fiber, inside the fiber, you are having 4 parts. Okay, my drawing is not good. So this internal part is called core and this outer part is called cladding. So it is something like this. So e part core amma, idi cladding. Okay, so mu1, mu core, mu cladding. Can anyone tell me whether I need to put greater than symbol or less than symbol? So mu core must be always greater than mu cladding. That means core is denser, cladding is light material. Now my question is, now you know core and cladding, now you know step index and graded index. So what is the difference between step index and graded index? Step index ki graded index ki difference ఏంటమ్మా? Okay, I will give you option, tell me your answer. So mu core constant, mu core is high at center, gradually decreasing when you move to the edge. Now in step index, out of these two, which one is yeah, I got a few right answers. So mu core is constant in step index, mu core is varying in graded index. So in the center it is high. When you go to the edges in core, you will be seeing it is decreasing. That makes the cable bend the light instead of simply go the light transmit the light in single. Okay, now yeah, so we have, what are the different types of guided transmission medium that we discussed? You can throw one each. So one person gave me the twisted pair. Yeah, another person gave me coaxial cable. Any more answers? Yeah, fiber optics cables. Now, out of these three, in terms of bandwidth, which one is higher? I repeat, in terms of bandwidth, which one is higher? Which provides high bandwidth? So most of you are telling the right answer, optical fibers. Optical fibers, they are very high in terms of bandwidth and data rates. Okay. Now, in terms of cost, which one is cheaper? So, twisted pair. Now, out of these twisted pair and coaxial, whose bandwidth is higher? Yeah, good. So, coaxial's bandwidth is higher. Now, in video communication, which type of cable you are normally using? Yeah, coaxial cable, right? So in data transfer, which cable you will be using in LAN, local area network. Okay, good. Twisted pair. Now, twisted pair, it is right. Optical fibers are very rarely used in LAN. So one example for optical fiber is, for example, cell tower to cell tower or cell tower to base station. You will be using optical fiber. Now, since we entered into cell towers and these things, let me come back. Come back to wireless transmission. So in wireless transmission, what are the different types? Wireless medium or unguided transmission medium. What are the different types of communications we are doing? Yeah, one is radio. Yeah, another one is microwave. Okay, so these two are important. Infrared falls under visible spectrum. Okay, Bluetooth, all these things falls under these only. Now, out of these two, radio and microwave, which can penetrate through walls? Out of radio and microwave, which can penetrate through walls? Now, this question I am not getting answers. Only one person, two persons gave the answer. I'm getting mixed answers. So for getting clarity, let me ask you one more question. So how many, I think you are using dish TVs, right? So in dish TVs, which waves are used, radio waves or microwaves? Tata Sky, Dish, or Dish TV, or some other, which? Yeah, microwave. Microwave. So can you put the Dish TV antenna inside your home? No. Why? What is the reason? There are two reasons. Why can't you get the signal? Yeah, one reason, 5i8 Sriya, it is right. Can't penetrate through walls. And what is the other reason? Line of sight must be there. Okay, so the two antennas must be in line of sight of one another. So based on these two. Now, my previous question, which waves can penetrate through walls? Now give me the right answer. Yeah, right, good. Radio waves. So microwaves can't penetrate. Now, can anyone give me examples for this radio waves? Application. Yeah, one, FM radio. Any other? Don't tell me AM radios, amplitude radios. Yeah, TVs, the Doordarshan, you are cutting in radio only. And any other? Walkie-talkies, mobiles, all these things. Okay, so good. So I can see you people are following the classes in the right way. Now, what is the difference between baseband versus passband? Any difference you can tell? Which one is analog? Which one is digital 5K6 Soumya? Baseband is digital, passband is analog, right? This is one right answer. Any more? What is the, I mean, based on the working content, yeah, baseband without modulation, passband with modulation. That is right. That means what is the actual meaning of that? Signal transmitted as it is, signal transmitted by increasing the frequency. Okay, so that is the meaning. Good. Now, can anyone tell me what are the techniques that we discussed in passband? That means what are the modulation techniques that we discussed? Three techniques. No, FDM, WDM, they are multiplexing techniques. Give me full names. I gave you hints here. SK, they ends with SK. Yeah, one person gave me the right answer. 5H4, ASK, amplitude shift keying. Next one is FSK, frequency shift keying. Third one is PSK, phase shift keying, which is also called as AM, FM, PM. Not, don't say PM, phase modulation. You can, but don't use these terms. Go with these terms only. Amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying, and phase shift keying. Good. Now, yeah. So in digital communication, which multiplexing technique suits better? You have three multiplexing techniques. You already gave the answers for that: FDM, WDM, TDM. Now, in digital communication, which one is better? I got few answers right. Yeah, good. TDM. So now coming to analog communication, analog radio communication, which one suits better? Analog radio communication. See, tell me the answer. Yeah, good. FDM. So analog light means WDM. You can use digital light also, but normally you won't be seeing digital light. Okay, so WDM. So good. We have clarity here. Now, so can anyone tell me what Fourier analysis says in a single statement? Fourier analysis tells about in a single statement. At least one person. No one. You don't know, or you are not able to put that into words? What you know? So let me tell. Any complex signal which is periodic in nature can be represented with multiple sine and cosine waves. So that's what is told by Fourier analysis. Okay. So I will close the session now. So it's really, the last half an hour has been an very interactive session. So I'm going to end the session. Those who have no doubts can leave the session. If you have any doubts, you can ask